Yeah, we do, you're right. I was just checking in. Okay, is everyone ready? All right, Dan. This is Catherine McClure, Superintendent of Schools for the Southwest Vermont Supervisory Union, and this is the reorganization meeting of the Bennington School District Board of Directors. I'd like to open the meeting for reorganization and open nominations for chair. Are there any nominations?
Ken Sweart.
Second.
Any other nominations for chair? Seeing none, would you like to vote by acclamation, since there's
Yes.
one nomination?
Yes.
Thank you. Ken?
I nominate George Sleeman for vice chair.
I second it.
You're on.
Okay, any other votes, or excuse me, recommendations for vice chair? Seeing none, we'll cast all those in favor of George? Okay, thank you. Okay, next person is the clerk. Do we have any volunteers for the clerk? Their job basically is to send communications from the board to like retiring teacher or so forth, and I think Jackie was doing it last, and she does our task list for the following meeting. No
Don't
volunteers?
everybody look this way. 'Cause
Nobody
How
wants?
about nominate the new Jackie Kelly?
Jackie, would you be interested or as a new board member to be the clerk?
I think I'll pass on this one.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm stuck.
I think she volunteered.
Okay, thank you, Jackie.
Yes, thank you.
And SU, you want to?
Okay, now, do we have other, I'm just going to do these other committees while we're here.
Okay.
Okay, we have what is called a tech committee, and Jackie, you've been serving on that. Is that something you're interested in?
I can't do it, remember? It's in conflict of the
Isn't that
teachers'
one-
negotiation.
Okay.
That's the one
Yeah,
that Marie
I told him I
volunteered.
would
Would like
do
to
it.
do that? Okay,
Yep.
Marie.
Okay.
And
No.
he has your email now.
Food service, I know that
Gene.
Gene's been doing it for 3 years, not being on the board even, so you'd like to continue on that?
Yes.
Okay, and Jackie is doing teacher negotiations. The support staff was Paul. Continue on that, because if there's any opening up of the contract or stuff like that, you get familiarization. Okay, policies. Jackie, would you like to serve on the policies committees? Now, that meets once a month.
First Monday of the month.
Was that a Monday?
Yes.
Okay,
First
first
Monday.
Monday of the month. Catherine will get your information, and she'll make sure that every time there's a meeting, you'll get the packet and stuff before time. Okay? And the other thing is, we need a motion to allow the clerk, the chair or the vice chair to sign warrants in case there's no meeting. That usually happens once a year in July when the board doesn't meet.
So moved.
Seconded.
Okay, any questions? All in favor? Okay, unanimous. Okay. Now, the next item is the SVSU reps. As you may remember from last year, Sean Marie had a waiver, because every district in the state is supposed to have 3 reps, but she got a waiver because she had trouble with the quorum. And now each district has 2 representatives plus alternates. So what we did last year is anybody that's interested in serving on the SVSU board will put their name in nomination. We'll hand out pieces of paper, and you can write down one name, you can write down 2 names, you can write down no names, but you can't write the same name twice. Okay, we did have that once. And you get 1 vote per person, not 2 votes for 1 person.
I'm going to nominate Paul Becker.
Okay, no, I'm just asking people who's interested.
I'm
Paul?
interested.
Oh,
Okay, let's write these names down.
okay, so Jackie is interested.
Jackie.
And Paul, were you?
I'm interested in the alternate.
Pardon?
No, alternate, I'll be interested in.
I'd be interested as an alternate also.
You can take me off this.
I'm interested in a representative.
And you? So we have George, Jackie, and Ken. Is that correct? Did I hear correctly?
And Jean.
Jackie, Kelly, and George, Ken, Jackie, Kelly, and Jean. As alternate or as
I just assume Sid is an alternate.
an alternate? So we're not taking the alternate right now, I don't think.
Right, just two people, or three, whatever.
So it's three. Jackie, Kelly,
Okay,
George,
so
and
just,
Ken.
you have sheets. Everybody write down 2 names. No
So
name-
one
no
name
name-
on one ballot, so you get 2
No.
Oh, you want
2
to...
names on one, that way we can find out. We don't want anybody, because remember a couple years ago, we had this,
Yes.
one person write the same name twice.
Yeah.
And that's, a matter of fact, Madam Counter, if you see a name twice, just destroy the ballot.
I'll have someone else help me. Jerry, will you assist in tallying the votes with me?
Can you tell me the names again?
George Sleeman, Ken Sweat, and Jackie Kelly.
We don't have any citizens anymore. What happened? I was going through some of my old papers at home, and I came across this article from 2003 from the Burlington Free Press. And it was it 29 schools defeated their budgets, and already the governor back then was saying how the property taxes, they got to do something about the funding system for the state of Vermont, and that there could be a taxpayer revolt and all this stuff, and 11 years have gone by and there's still status quo. So, things really don't change much.
So there were 7 votes for George and 6 for Ken, or the high vote for the positions on the SU board. And now alternates?
Alternate.
Ken?
Okay, Jack, who's interested in alternate now?
Nominate Paul Becker.
Okay, we just take
It's
personal.
Paul and Jean.
Paul and Jean.
This time 1,
Now you're making it difficult.
just 1.
I thought there was 2 alternates.
No, there's only one.
Oh, Paul can have it. We don't have to go through that.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim.
That's why I pulled myself out of it. Forget.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Paul.
everybody.
We don't need all that much drama.
Okay, any citizens' comments? Seeing none. Report the annual floor meeting and budget vote. And I don't know how, I know our budget went down, was it 37 or 39 votes?
39.
But I don't know if any of you watched it on TV when Timmy was given the results. He had mentioned that in Bennington, the Mount Anthony budget passed. But what happened, I guess he erroneously commingled or put the total of North Bennington, which should have been separated, because the Mount Anthony budget actually went down in Bennington, just like the Bennington budget did. It was a surrounding town, just like last year, that saved the Mount Anthony budget.
So Ken, it wasn't erroneously, he did announce at that time that it was a combined
Was
North
it?
Bennington
Okay.
and Bennington vote. I just
Okay,
wanted
well,
to let
my
you know.
mistake
He
then.
did. That's all right.
Okay. And I watch Channel 3 a lot during the legislative process, January through April. And it seemed that a few people up there still think that because the increases around the state were smaller than they were expected, and the lady that's in charge of estimating the increase.
tax commissioner.
Tax commissioner, that 7 cents may be a high number. She may be able to reduce it a couple pennies. So I think it'd be worthwhile for us to maybe just sit on this defeated budget for a little while to see what shakes out up in Bennington, because all of us that worked on this, Montpelier, all of us who worked on this know that there's really nothing in here that if we cut it all, it's going to really hurt the kids, all the new technology and the sped
Math books.
directive. So that's my 2 cents, is that I think we should probably just wait and see what comes about.
Ken, I don't disagree with what you're saying. However, might it not be a good idea if we asked Mr. Pembroke to take a look at the budget, and I'm not talking about programs, but go down through it again and see if there are certain areas that might be adjusted, and along with that, I'd like to ask him that rather than our waiting for the state to come down, just to look at the various areas that are there that would not affect programs, and see if we couldn't find some money there that might help us out too.
Okay.
That's just my thoughts.
Anybody else comments?
I agree with you.
I would just soon wait a little bit, see, don't react too fast.
I mean, if there's time to look at it, I mean, like any other time we've gone through it, but, I mean, I know you've gone through it several times, and each time we've gone through the budget process, you've found various things, and, you know, I'm not saying there's things to be found in there, but if there's a look, it's a look, that's all. Nothing's expected to say that there's a definite in anything, but.
Because I think we had less than a 1%, whatever, 1.5% increase. It was very
Cent.
small. It came up penny one.
Actually,
penny two.
I will pass out these, especially for Jean and Jackie, if they hadn't gotten them. And then maybe we can do just a quick overview of where we are. And I also have printouts of the presentation on February 10th that will help all board members remember what transpired before the meeting, before the vote.
Rick, did you want to react to that? I mean,
Or
I
give a
didn't
brief
mean that
overview. Do you want him
to,
to give a brief overview of where we are?
I don't have a problem relooking at the budget. There's just, as in the past, there's not going to be a lot there unless you go to people. You know, 77% of that budget is salary and benefits. So, you know, could we find a couple bucks here and there? Yeah, it's not going to make a drastic difference unless you start to cut people. But I'll be happy to look at it.
And in turn, cutting people, which means class sizes have to go up because of that, most likely.
That would be a logical assumption.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rick.
thanks, Rick. Okay.
Any more comments on the budget? Principals?
I was looking at the class sizes,
Yep.
and unless you move people or double up your grade levels, you know, have second and third grade together, or third and fourth, it would make it almost impossible to have good instruction in what you have. So I would think again about that.
Oh, right.
Thank you.
See, I don't know how familiar you are, but we should make sure we get the policies on class size and stuff, but the
It's
board
on
has
the
made a
website.
commitment for K-1, 2 to keep them 15 youngsters and below, if we can.
17. I think it's
17.
17 and below.
And below. And every kid in kindergarten has a para in there to help the teacher as well. So that's a commitment we've made as a board to try to keep the numbers down. And like you say, instructions are so important at that early age that we want to give the kids the best chance we can.
Ken, we also should share, Jackie, we have not been able to do that in all cases. We've had to go up to 18 or 19 in some classes. We have some kindergarten classes at 19. We have some other grades right now that are higher than we would like, especially third grade this year. We have 27 in some classes of third grade. So we've tried as best we can. That also, to remind you all that we have each year, each spring, we look at the distribution of students and try to make some decisions about school attendance areas and try to give some sensitivity to class sizes when we do that. So we'll be coming in April to talk about that, or April and May, with the board.
Have you given thought to maybe in some of your lower elementary classes where you're struggling with high numbers in K through 2, in having for instance, if you go up to 20, if you have to go up to 20, having an aide?
Well,
With that
right,
class.
right now, we have aides, classroom aides, we call them paraprofessionals, that are locally funded in every kindergarten. We have a number of paraprofessionals that are special ed specific, that are employed through the SU, that are in all of the buildings. And I wouldn't say there's one in every classroom. Definitely don't want to give that impression, but they tend to, after kindergarten, they are specific for special education assistance. The board has not, because we've been in challenging economic times for so long, the board really has not had a discussion about putting aides in, other than first grade. In my tenure, in the 5 years, there was some discussion, but a decision not to do that. Am I correct? Yes, yeah.
The state
There was a
tends,
discussion about
the
it.
state
however.
tends to do audits, because the state reimburses you 50% for all individuals that work with SPED. And if you have a parent in the classroom and they spend some time with a regular youngster, I guess we lose part of our funding for that.
They're
Para.
actually allowed 20% of their time with non-identified.
Oh.
But, and if it's greater than that, we lose the
Is
funding.
that is that something new? Because
No,
I thought we had
no.
our hands slapped there for a while.
No, I think that there's always concern about the number of paraprofessionals and the average of special education students percentage compared to the state average.
And if there's any area of the education that you'd like a little presentation about, like SPED or math or whatever, you just let me know, and I can set up within the next meeting or two to get a short presentation. If there's something you want to know more information about that you think you could use, okay? So just feel free. Because that's one thing that, the board, we're all equal here, and that if something is not going right or you need more information, just let me or Catherine know and say, I'd like to see this on the agenda. I need more information. We'll do everything that we can to get it to you.
Also, our April presentation, we'll be having teachers and guidance counselors come to talk about the accountability programs in the schools, the Green Mountain Star, which is required as part of our accountability for AYP, or failing to meet adequate yearly progress, and also the SWIFT program, which is a federally funded program that was competitive, that Vermont was able to secure to assist schools that are in need of improvement. And actually, the state itself is paying for our schools to participate rather than using the federal money. So they've actually expanded the number of schools that are available for that. So we'll have a presentation on both of those from Monument and Bennington Elementary. And then from Molly Stark, we'll hear about the trauma-sensitive schools from guidance counselor and the principals. So that's our April presentation. And I think it's really important to recognize that for every regular agenda, this board has requested to have, thank you, Jackie, and others, requested to have an instructional item on the agenda as well as a special education item. So you'll see those on your normal formatting of your agenda beginning in April again.
When is April? When?
April
April
2nd.
April 2nd?
Yeah.
first Wednesday of the month.
It should be the 3rd.
It's the next meeting, April 2. Okay. Now, again,
It's April
I
2nd.
don't know if everybody received it, but Renee sent out a treasurer's report.
Yeah.
Everybody get it? Okay, I don't know if there's any questions on that, but can we have a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, Jackie abstaining? All in favor? Okay, unanimous. Okay, we also have the budget status report, and again, we try to go paperless here, Jackie, and as much as we can improve, Gene, so.
Get everyone
Well, we gotta get
connected.
out.
We haven't even been receiving, it was, and again, you can ask, as Paul has just asked, and George, some people like to get the packet, and if that's what you want, in other words, everything that's sent to you electronically, you can get it all printed out, sent to you in a package. If that's what you like, no problem. But we're trying to eliminate, they're not even sending that letter out. And again, if you just go to svsu.org, click on the left side, there's school board information, and then you click on the school that we represent, the Bennington School District, you'll get, and by the way, our technology director, that's one complaint I had to him, and he said he's going to change it, is that you're going to have like the last 2 years' worth of information up there, and you got to go through it and find the latest one. And he told me that hopefully soon he's going to get it where it'll be in chronological order, where that when you go there, the one at the top or the bottom will be the one that you're going to click on, because it does get confusing sometimes. So he's working on that, but he's aware of it.
The agendas. Thanks.
Okay?
Ken, I
Yes.
wanted to ask Jackie, I wanted to ask, because I don't know if Ken kind of asked, would you prefer I prefer, for example, the written documents. Some people prefer it coming electronically. I don't. I don't know what your preference is.
Well, I was a tech person for 17 years, so I prefer.
Oh,
You do-
excellent.
Okay.
She's got a system that works better than mine.
The experience.
Just
too.
make sure we get her
Thank you.
email address.
Ken?
Hey, Ken, just because I didn't see another here, I'm going to hijack the financial for a second. Extend my usual invitation, Ms. Kelly. Jean, if you want to come back again for another Finance 101, I offer about an hour of your time. I'll give you an overview of how the budget's put together, how the tax rates work. Unfortunately, it might be apropos to take advantage of this before we get back into the budget conversation again, but it's not required. I offer. I would say 99% of the people that sit with me, I think they are happy they did, and they walk away with something that they didn't understand before. I extend that invitation. Give me a call at 753-5802. That's Alice's number, and she'll set you up with a time. Need about an hour, and feel free to come in, and I'll give you a quick overview. And I extend it to anyone else, but I know the rest of you guys on the board have been through it pretty extensively the last couple of years, but you're welcome to come in as well. But
Probably could go
I
through it
extend that to all my
a
new
dozen
board
times.
members, so
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, like I said, the budget status report is there. Okay, consent agenda. What we have is, again, Jackie, because you must know all this from the CDC. Okay, can we have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Second, Marie.
Yep.
Questions on the minutes? On these?
Lawrence?
Seeing none? All in favor of the consent agenda? Unanimous? Okay, now, I serve from the southern part of the state here on the VSBA, which stands for Vermont School Board Association. We meet once a month up in Montpelier. And what they've done is they're going to take 6 regional meetings, and ours is going to be on the 31st of March, which is a Monday, and I hope you lock this in your calendar.
Please.
And we're going to be meeting at the CDC. It's going to be from 5 to 8, and they will provide lunch, or excuse me, a meal for you at the start, so you'll sit down and get a meal, and then we'll spend about 2.5 hours in training. A lot of it will be about how school boards work. It'll be a lot of information about the state and the budgeting and what's going on, the latest information from Montpelier. So it's really interesting. It's worthwhile. You'll have a facilitator there. I'm not sure if the director, Steve Dale, will be here.
Harry Frank, I think is going
Or
to.
Harry Frank will be coming down. But you see, they're trying to hit all 6 areas, northeast, southwest, and within the month to get everybody trained. So that's for your own information. So please write March 31, Monday, 5 to 8 at the
We gotta read.
CDC.
They also have to go online and respond if they're going to register.
Okay, vtvsba.org.
I'll email it out to you.
Also, I'm,
Yeah,
Ken, I'm a little disappointed that the meeting about what's going on in the legislature is not coming down this area. It's the south, it's going to just around Rutland somewhere.
Yeah.
They're not having one down here.
Well, I can call.
And it would, I mean, I don't want to go to Rutland at night.
Well, I can see, but, they're trying to do their best. It's, there's just so many people. There's only 2 people, really. Harry Frank and Steve Dale, and they have to cover the state when they do the training. They do have a facilitator. I don't know if he'll be coming for this one, but.
Well, even if they did it VIT, I'd rather
Yeah.
go to VIT.
We can-
Okay,
we
ask
can
that,
ask.
yeah. check it.
What is this for?
Yes.
That's a meeting we
I
have
just
to-
wanted to remind
They're
the continuing
changing some
board
of them.
members and let the new board members know that there was a commitment by this board to attend, all of you to attend this meeting on the 31st, and then Steve Dale would follow up with a session just for your board, to work with your board, similar to what he had done last year, but you have new board members, returning board members. So if you come to this one, it would be the first session, and then he would come back and just do a follow-up session with this board.
I've done that when I was on the board the last time.
Yeah, it's
That was
beneficial.
a different person that went
Yeah.
in, yeah.
But it's beneficial. So if you could all try to make that March 31st, it would be helpful when Steve Dale comes down to do a follow-up.
And where is it being held?
The 31st is held at the CDC at 5.
And as Jackie said, you go on Vermont School Board Association, Vermont, and you can register there.
You pass this.
Okay, we also have student enrollment for your information. And anybody have anything other they would like to bring up at the meeting?
We're just going to pass around the warrants after Ken signs it.
Sign before you leave.
I don't feel
He
any pressure at
remembered.
all. I don't feel any pressure at all.
He remembered. And we have an executive session for employment matters.
Thank you. Okay, nothing else to be before the board? Okay, can we have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Okay, all in favor? Unanimous. Okay, it's 7:25.
There'll be no action.
We have to sign the warrants first.
No.